Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So welcome to today's session about pinSIGHT 2.0. My name is Liz Amato, and I am with Travel Leaders Network in the hotel division. So I'm here to talk to you about our newest version of pinSIGHT, which is an online booking tool. So you may have been using pinSIGHT Current or pinSIGHT 1.0. So we've got some exciting changes to talk about and show you today. This next version, just to let you know, for Pro Travel Network will be released next Wednesday. So you'll receive an email from the pinSIGHT team with just some details on logging in, and you'll set up a new password. It's really self-explanatory. There's even more webinars offered, documentation. So a lot of information out there for you going forward. So, but today we'll take a sneak peek and you'll get to see what's coming. So today's agenda, we'll talk about what is pinSIGHT a little bit, just to review. Maybe if some of you didn't really use the current version, I'll just kind of give a brief overview of what the application is. We'll talk about what's new. So again, some of the new exciting features that have changed and some things that are coming next week. I'll walk you through the navigation, so how to use the tool in the booking process. And then I'll also take you into what's called the back office, which is really how you find your reservations, cancel them. You can run reservation reports, so all the admin features. And then we can, if there's any questions, I don't know if Maggie, if you'll open that up, or we'll check the question box as well. So whatever works for you. So what is pinSIGHT? So pinSIGHT is, as it says here, award-winning. It's a web-based tool. So, you can access anywhere on the web with your login. You don't have to have it downloaded onto your desktop or your laptop. So it's very easy to use. It is, as it says here, designed by travel agents for travel agents. So this is not meant to be a consumer site. And you'll see why if you don't use it today. We talk about commissions. Lots of different rate options are there and commission options. And also it's intuitive, helpful, easy, and profitable. So we also have in pinSIGHT different commissions, different rate types that you can actually mark your commissions up and create your own profitability there. So really excited about this version, and we hope you are too. So first off, just want to say if you do need to locate pinSIGHT, you can go into Agent Universe under the Book It tab. Under pinSIGHT Hotels. You can also find it, to be honest, under quick links over on the side, but what you'll see now is version 2.0, which is where you're going to make, starting next week, make all your new bookings. And then you will have access to 1.0, or the old version, we call it, so you can access any bookings you made in the past and cancel those. So those will stay there until checkout, essentially. So that's what you'll see on Agent Universe, and going forward, starting next week, you'll use the version we'll talk about today. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of earning opportunities. We have lots of different rate icons and options for you, and we've even added one that I'll talk about. So first off, at the top here, we have our friends and family rate. If you're not familiar, that's basically your agent rate. So that's prepaid, low net rate, and is non-commissionable. So it's definitely something you would use sparingly, for yourself or somebody that you're not worried about getting a commission. Then we do have friends and family. I'm sorry, flex markup. Flex markup is what I mentioned before. You actually can add your own markup, either a percentage or dollar amount, to earn unlimited commissions, and I'll show you how that's done as well. So that's also a prepaid rate. And then we have our 15% commission, which is just that, is a straight 15%. So again, a great commission opportunity, and it's also prepaid. But the thing we like to point out about those as well is that even though they're prepaid, that does not mean non-refundable. So a lot of people think if I prepay the rate, that means it's non-refundable. That's not the case in pinSIGHT, and we'll take a look at cancellation policies, which is where you can find your refundable options. Then we do have OTAs. So we've got Expedia and Priceline here, and you can see they both provide 9% commission. Those are also prepaid as well. Those are there. You can use them for comparison purposes. You can, of course, book them and earn the 9%. Just again, makes it easy if you happen to use any of their own booking applications. This way, you can just do it all in pinSIGHT and ensure all of your commissions come through Travel Leaders, which is great. And then lastly, we do have GDS rates, or the next is GDS rates. So even if you don't use the GDS, no problem. You have access to all those GDS rates here in pinSIGHT. We handle all of the processing, all of the contract piecing, all of that. So you just book with pinSIGHT and the GDS rates. It is credit card guarantee, and that means that then the property will charge the client upon checkout is generally how those work. So a little bit different. And great for clients that don't like prepay. So, they're guaranteed holding the room for them, but they don't have to pay up front. That GDS rate also includes our worldwide and select hotel programs, which select hotels has a lot of great amenities. So you'd want to check those out too. And then lastly, we did add booking.com. So booking.com came into pinSIGHT 2.0. As it mentions, there's over 1 million properties. Many of these you can't find anywhere else besides booking.com. So now you've got access to more properties, especially bed and breakfast and some of these really unique places all over the world. Booking.com does provide 6% commission, and that is also credit card guarantee. So the property will charge upon checkout for those. So a lot of different rate options for you there, and you'll see those all over pinSIGHT. So we'll also talk what's new. So a couple really great features. First off, of course, is look and feel. So if you have used pinSIGHT 1.0, or if not, nice new look and feel. We've kind of made it a little more modern, easier on the eyes, lots of great ads and things for you to check out, and also a great FAQ document. Kind of see the questions down there in the blue box at the bottom. So a lot of great resources for information on the site. And I'll walk you through in a little more detail here in a minute. We do also have now a built-in CRM or customer relation management tool. So if you have clients, that you're booking for all the time, you can register them right in the tool. It's very simple. Put in their email address and basic information. And that way, when you're booking, you don't have to re-enter that every time. So a good time saver for you, absolutely right there. And then if you have built that database, you can certainly go back and search for them. So if I built Liz Amato, then I can go back and search for her name or email and locate that for the booking. But you don't have to. You certainly can go through just as you normally would and enter their information at the end. So it's really up to you. Another new feature is you now can book 5 rooms. So in the current pinSIGHT, you could only book 4 rooms. We've expanded to 5. And you can also book up to 7 in a room. Current pinSIGHT was only 4, which was problematic for families, of course. So now you can search and book up to 7, which is great. Another new feature we're really excited is you can use different credit cards for each room. So you'll see we have a cart function. You basically add all of your rooms, even different hotels, doesn't have to be the same hotel. And fill up your cart for that client, and you can then check them out all at one time with the same credit card, or if perhaps they need to use different credit cards, you can do that as well, and I'll show you that a little further, but that's again a nice time saver for you. So here you can see kind of quickly, we chose a couple rooms. They got the Hilton, and you could go ahead and book or use different credit cards. Another new feature we've added, we have a lot of filtering. We always had lots of filtering before, but now you can go ahead and filter for worldwide enhanced commission, which is ECP. Enhanced commission is where you earn 15% on rooms and 20% on suites on those hotels, and then also select hotels. So if you haven't checked out our rate programs, definitely check those out. We've got a lot of information on Agent Universe as well. I won't go into those today, but a lot of good rate programs out there too. So you can now filter and find those easily in pinSIGHT. As I mentioned, TripCart, so just like Amazon, right, Home Depot, anywhere you shop, you now can fill up your cart or your trip cart and go ahead and check out one time. So it's very simple. Instead of seeing, book now buttons, you're going to see add to cart, as it says here. And you're going to go ahead and either continue shopping if you have more rooms to add, or you'll check out just like you would if you're buying, again, something on Amazon. Another new feature we're really excited, or new program that's part of pinSIGHT, is we have TLG rewards. And I'll show you a little bit more of this as well, how you opt in, but kind of like your credit card programs, right? So with your credit card, you use your credit card to earn points. Well, with TLG rewards, you book in pinSIGHT and you earn points. So very simple. I'll show you how you opt in. And then from there on out, we're going to track every dollar that you generate, as it says here. You're going to earn a point. So they have to be consumed. So of course you get the credit for them after the client has checked out. And then once you get up to 25,000 points or $25,000 in sales, you start redeeming your points in $25 gift cards. So we've got Amazon, speaking of them, Best Buy, and about 60 other vendors. So a lot of great gift cards out there for you to take advantage of. And everybody gets to earn, so everybody wins. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look here at the booking steps. So I'm going to actually go into a live version. So you'll bear with me a little bit on Wi-Fi speed and those things, but I like to show this live when I can. So one last slide though before I do that is your login. So this is what your login screen is going to look like, really simple and basic. You've got obviously your username, which will be your email. You're going to create a password when you get the notification from us, and you're going to log in. As you see here, it's got also links to tutorials. So like I said, a lot of information if you need to go back and relearn or try to remember how to do something. And we do have our help desk. So they have an email address listed or an 800 number, and they are there 7 days a week. So they're a great group and happy to help you as well. So that being said, I'm going to jump into the live pinSIGHT version here. Hopefully, just 1 second. Bear with me. I'll give that a second. So hopefully now you are seeing a live version of my Chrome browser here. So I'm in the live pinSIGHT, and on your end you'll see kind of some scrolling ads you can click into, I mentioned before, and basically your home page. So a few things I want to point out before I start the booking is some of your navigation here at the top. So first you do have Choose Traveler. So that, as I mentioned, if you had registered somebody, you could go ahead and search for them or go ahead and register someone. So I'll see, I think I have somebody in here. And I do, so I've got Chris Roberts, so I'm going to select him for the booking process just to show you that. So now you can see at the top my active traveler is Chris. Another feature, back office, we'll talk about that a little later, but you can always jump into back office to go to TLG rewards for one, and also pull up reservations. So we'll take a look at that further at the end. And then of course you've got your own profile. You can see welcome Liz. You can update your profile information if you need to, your address or phone number, any trips that you've booked or planned. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then of course log out. So a couple other things, you do have start new sessions. So if you're working with one client and you need to go, they need to go and talk to somebody and they'll call you right back, you could go ahead and serve new traveler, which means you'll just pull up a brand new session. Or maybe that client says, that's great, we're looking at Las Vegas, I started here, hey, I want to go look at Salt Lake City. You could go ahead and pull up another session for them and keep your current. So a lot of different ways to navigate, which again is nice. You can be very flexible. We also have currency. So if you happen to need to change into Canadian dollars, you can do that, but you'll be defaulted to USD. Your trip card, of course, which we'll take a look at later. I don't have anything in there now. And then my searches. So this is great. While you're logged into pinSIGHT, any of your searches are going to be held here. So anything you've been looking and searching for will be held. You can see I'd already done a Vegas search a little earlier. That way, if you want to go back and take a quick look at that, your client calls you and says, oh, you know what, can you take a look at those rates again? You don't have to re-enter all the information. You can just click on this and it'll populate that for you. And then, of course, if you have a lot built up, you can just trash them if you want to get rid of any of them that you don't need to see. So that's kind of your top navigation bar. Then, of course, going into the booking process, you do have your search function. So you can search, as it says, city, address, zip code, or landmark. So just like current pinSIGHT, it does not have to just be a city or an airport code. You could put in Disneyland. You could put in Eiffel Tower. You could put in a physical address, and you'll find hotels within a 15-mile radius of that. So that's, again, super powerful part of pinSIGHT is that searching function. That's really difficult to find elsewhere. It's quite powerful. Then, of course, check-in, check-out, pretty basic there. Number of rooms. So as I said, you can now, by clicking these, I could search and book up to 5 rooms at a time. But I'm going to just keep it at 1 to keep it simple today. And then number of occupants. So again, you can put up to 7 occupants, and you can split that out between children and adults as well. So you would just keep increasing that. And again, I'll just keep it at 2 to keep it simple. And then now another new feature we have in pinSIGHT 2.0 is advanced search options. So if I click on that, I can even do more filtering, more searching. I can do star rating if I want to go ahead and narrow down. You know, I know they want a 5-star or et cetera. That radius, so as I said, we're going to default to 15-mile radius of your point of interest or address or city. But hey, you know what? I really need to be, 10 miles or 5 miles, or maybe further out. You know, maybe there's somewhere more rural. So you could adjust that. But we do default to 15 miles. And you can always update this later in the booking process. So the other great thing about 2.0 is you're never stuck. You can always modify what you're doing throughout the process. So we'll see that in a moment. You can specify hotel name. So if I know right off the bat they're going to Vegas, they want to stay at the Wynn, I could go ahead and put that in and just cut right to the chase and get to the Wynn. And then, of course, amenities. So, you know, they really want a pool. They really want a spa. All those different features. You can go ahead and make sure that all your hotels that come back have those amenities. So, again, nice options for you there. Or you can leave it completely blank, which I will for now just to demonstrate, and go ahead and do your search. So we will click search, see what we get back for Las Vegas. We'll have to give it just a moment. And you see there TLG rewards. You know, you'll see again the advertising about that and places to click again and review. So again, a lot of good information. So we've got now our results back for Las Vegas. You see, you know, at the top here, what was my search criteria, my dates, etc. I can modify that. So there's a little modify search with a pencil here. I just click on that, I get a drop down. And if I say, oh, you know what, I meant to add 2 rooms, or you know what, I forgot to add that they need a swimming pool, I can hit the advanced search again, or I could put in the hotel name, etc. So as I said, you've always got an ability to update your search and add more features in. Next to that, you do have the card and the map view. We have this now as well, but it looks a little different. What that does is pinSIGHT will default to this map, which is powered by Google Maps, so it's very reliable, user-friendly. But if you wanted to start seeing your rates by hotel, you can click card. What that does is it displays all of the hotels with where their rate types are coming in at. So Monte Carlo in this example is coming back at $55 and change for friends and family is their lowest rate, then 15% commission, rate type starting at 65, etc. So just a different way to view a little breakdown of the rates. Otherwise, you're going to see on the side or on the listing what their lowest price is coming in, including tax. pinSIGHT 1.0 and 2.0 will always have tax included in your quoting, which again just makes it easier for you when talking to your client. So that's a little bit about the top. Again, you can filter again by your hotel name, which we'll do that in a minute. So like I said, you're never stuck. You can change your sort. We have recommended, but if you wanted to change by distance, or I wanted to sort by price, which would be common, right? You could do that as well. And then you've got even more filter options. If I hit this filter, you can see you've got a scale bar for price. I could change that. Distance, maybe I said, oh, that's too far. I need to go into 8 miles. Even refundable rooms. So perhaps your client says, there's no way I'll pay or book something that is non-refundable. So you can always filter and make sure everything that comes back is refundable. Inventory type, remember I covered those at the beginning. So perhaps I don't want friends and family because this is not my friend or family member. I do want to see perhaps all these other rate types, or maybe I just want 15% commission, etc. You can always do that as well. I'll just unclick those. Of course, we have star rating again. Hotel chain. Maybe somebody is an avid Hilton, honored person. They really like the Hilton brand. You can always filter there. Amenities here again. Got all those amenities. Bed type. They definitely want a king bed. And then, as I mentioned, the Travel Leaders programs, worldwide select ECP if there was an ECP hotel. So you could select all the different things you want and hit apply, or you could clear that out, and then your results will filter. So that's your filter option. You'll also, of course, have all your results. So here we've got all our hotel results on a sliding bar, your name, where they're located, how far they are from your point of interest. So that's great. The Circus is 1.8 miles from city center because I use Las Vegas. You're going to see the amenities the hotel has. We now have amenity icons, and you can hover and see what those mean. We also have reviews for a lot of them from TrustU. If you click on the reviews, you can see those are client or guest reviews, and you can read those. So you don't have to go to TripAdvisor or other sites to see what people are saying. You can just stay right in pinSIGHT. And then you're also going to see the price, what it's coming back per night, including tax. And an idea of where commissions could come in at. So, just some idea of what your potential commissions are. Another nice feature too is you can compare hotels. So if I wanted to, really filter down and I only want Circus and Stratosphere, I can say add to compare. And then at the top, there is a compare link. If I hit that, now I only have the few hotels or however many you choose on my map and in my listing. And then if I want them all back, I just hit the clear button back here at the top, and I'm going to get all those hotels back. So then, of course, we have our Google Map, which is going to correspond to all the hotels. So this is great. You see all of these pins, hence pinSIGHT, corresponding to hotels. You're going to see the star rating, which are actually now color-coded. So here our 3-star is orange. We've got 4 stars that are blue. And then if you click on them, you're going to see right on top of it, we say what hotel it is, give you the pricing, that information. So it's really easy to know what hotel you're looking at. The other nice thing we've done is you can see here we have a number 169. That means there's 169 hotels in that location. So what you can do is click on that, and now we can zoom in further. Now I've got 37 and 60, and of course all these individuals. Maybe I want to click in even further. Now I'm down in those 60 hotels. So you just keep zooming in, as you click in to see further and further those hotels. And then, of course, if you click on them, you'll start to see, again, what hotels are there. And then also conversely, if I'm over in the slide bar and I think, oh, the Stratosphere, where is that located? If I just click on the Stratosphere on the left, the pin will pop over there. Where's Excalibur? Same thing. Oh, scroll down a little bit there. Excalibur's down here. So really interactive, easy to use. Again, you're in Google Maps, so you can zoom in over here if you need to, get all the way down to the street level, zoom back out, very simple. So that's basically the results page initially for your hotel. In this example, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the Venetian. So I start typing in and pinSIGHT Smart, and right there it started to pop Venetian for me. So I see where it is on the map. I see the Venetian over here, and I'm going to go ahead and ask to show me the room. So give it a moment while it brings all those back. There's a lot of room and rate options in pinSIGHT, so sometimes you have to wait just a moment to get all of that. Okay, so we'll default, when you hit that, of course, we'll default to the room details and the pricing, which makes sense. So you're going to have your room descriptions and rate descriptions. Over here on the left, cancel policies. You definitely need to read your cancel policy. So those will go ahead and bring those up. You can see if they're non-refundable will be listed, and any other information for that rate will be there. Another new feature we have is show daily rate. Doesn't apply here because it's midweek, but Vegas, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the rate changes every single night. And sometimes clients want to know, well, what was it for Friday? What's it for Saturday? It would list those out if you just click that. You do have then your rate types, right? So now we've got our friends and family. If I hover, I'm sorry, flex markup. If I hover, it'll tell me. So don't worry if you forgot what they mean, just hover over. There's friends and family. You've got your pricing per night, tax included, your total, tax included, and your commission is predetermined. Of course, flex, friends and family, there's no commission. So you can see here all the different rate types, which can be a lot. So again, if you say, you know what, I really only want to see flex markup, I can filter up at the top again, maybe Expedia. And now, if I scroll back over, I just have my flex markup and my Expedia. All those other rate types are not showing. So just, again, a little easier on the eyes if you know that those are what you want to look at. Unclick those for a second. You also, as I had mentioned before, could filter on select or worldwide. So Venetian is part of our select and worldwide. So if I click select, very simple, all the select rates are coming back for the Venetian, or also worldwide are in there too, and the refundable. Click those. A couple other things before I go ahead and choose a room type. There we go. Is you've got these different tabs now as well. So if I want to read the summary, whatever the hotel provided, this one's a little bit shorter, but the summary of the hotel, I've got an amenities tab. So all the amenities, I've got a lot of them listed at the hotel that they have. Photos, of course, got to see photos. We have tons of photos, not just from the hotel, all different sources. So you get a good variety. If you're like me, I sometimes go on TripAdvisor because there's so many photos out there. But you can find tons of them in pinSIGHT. Again, a map. You need to look again where the hotel is, and then those reviews we talked about earlier from TrustYou. And TrustYou, just to let you know, they're actually an aggregator of reviews from TripAdvisor and Google star ratings and lots of other sites, and they just bring it all together for you. So it's a nice summary for you of what everybody's saying. So if I go back to room details, and let's go ahead and pick a rate type here. I'm going to go ahead, let's see if we can pick one of these flex markups, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that, add it to my cart. Hopefully it's, yep, there it is. So now you see I can either continue shopping, if I wanted to add another one, or I can do the checkout. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and hit continue shopping. And we're going to go ahead and have that one in the cart. And I'm going to go, and you can see my trip cart's got one. And I'm going to go ahead and modify my search again. Or actually, I could just hit hotel. Let's do that. That's a little easier. So now I've still got Chris as my traveler. He still has the Venetian, and I'm going to say, he is now going to come to Phoenix, where I'm located. So he's going to Vegas, and he's going to drive to Phoenix. So we'll update his date, and we're going to search in Phoenix. give the program a moment. And now we're in Phoenix. So this time, let's say though, you know, he says, you know, I really like that select program. I like those amenities. So I'm going to really try to find him a select hotel within Phoenix. So I do that, and now I've got my TLG preferred filter on there, and I see the Andaz Scottsdale. I see Royal Palms has got those rates, Sanctuary, etc. So that's great. I'm going to go ahead and try the Andaz for him. So I click on my Andaz, and there I see all my select rates because I've chosen that. So at this point, we see that this select rate, their $100 amenity is going to be $100 USD resort credit. They definitely, he gets the breakfast for two, which is part of select. Also, it doesn't list here, but he gets free Wi-Fi, and then possible early check-in, late checkout, and possible room upgrades. So this sounds great. I'm going to add this to my cart. Okay, great. They've added that to my cart. This time I'm going to check out. So I hit checkout. And now we've got my trip summary. So we see the Venetian, which is the first room we chose, standard room. I can choose my guests. So we'll add new, or I'll put Chris Roberts in here. Then you can also see if I need to add a markup, which I do because this is flex markup, right? So it's giving me the option to get my commission. So in this case, I've decided to add 30% because I know Expedia is a lot higher, and I'm going to make sure I maximize that. If I hit 30 and hit percent, or I could do USD. If I just said I'm going to make, you know, $100, I could put 100, and I could hit USD, and I would hit update. And now what you're going to see, it'll do all the calculation for me. It's working. It went ahead and added in commission, and then also service fee. So if I wanted to add in a $20 service fee, I could do that too. And the service fee, just to let you know, is charged separately, so you would want to let your client know. Whereas you put in your commissions, it is not. They would never know that you made $100 or 30%, et cetera. So it's gone ahead and totaled my trip price. Everything's totaled for that. And then I also have my Andaz. So that's here as well. I can choose Traveler if I want to, or I could remove it. I could also add a service fee here if I needed, but we'll skip that. So now I've got options. I can either check him out with one credit card here. You can see all the credit card information like we're used to. Or let's say he says, you know, I actually need to use two cards because, you know, the Vegas trip is a business trip and the Phoenix trip is personal. So I need to use two different cards. No problem. I can hit make payment using multiple cards. And now I have card number one. I choose which product or room. So I want to make sure it's the Venetian. Double check. Yep. There's my amount, etc. And I would put in his credit card information for that card. Then I go down a little further, card number two. Product. Now, of course, it has the Andaz because I already chose Venetian up top. And I would keep that there. Just wanted to check though. And I would put in that credit card here. So now I've got my card number one, my card number two, and my grand total. Another great thing, his email populated in, so I could go ahead and once I make the booking, accept terms and conditions, of course, down here, it'll send them an email confirmation that'll have these reservations. So that's an option. Or I know a lot of agents like to just put their own email in and get the confirmation and forward it. Totally up to you what you want to do there. And then again, if he came back and said, oh, you know what, I'm just going to use one credit card, no problem, uncheck the box. We only have one card to deal with. So that's the checkout process. The other two quick things you can do, let's say Chris says, you know what, I don't really know yet, I need to get back to you. No problem, Chris, we're going to save your trip. Got a little save trip with a floppy disk, if anyone remembers what those are. So let's call this Chris Vegas Phoenix. And I hit save, and now it's going to save my trip. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think I was taking too long. The other nice option, if he says, you know what, I don't know, can you just send me that? No problem, Chris. We're going to send you quotation right up here next to it. And it asks me, did you want to add any more service fees or markup? Just in case you forgot, oh my gosh, I forgot to put my flex markup or my service fee that I want to add, it'll ask you. But in this case, I'm good to go. I want to go ahead and send it to him. So now, very simple. Again, pre-populated his email because I'm using that CRM. I can change the subject, you know, Vegas, Phoenix, whatever I want it to say. I can say, you know, great rates, whatever message you want, his itinerary price, and of course, both hotels are listed. I've got my Venetian, all that information, and my Andaz. And he will get one email. If I just hit send now, he'll get one email with both of those quotes. So now he's got that information. He can call you back and hopefully make that booking. And you'll get a nice green bar. Your email's been sent, and you know that this is done. So that's basically the booking process and the quoting process as well. So hopefully that piece was helpful. Now, just real quick too, I want to show you, you can see my searches. I've got that Vegas and I've got Phoenix. So we went ahead and racked up a few searches there too. So I'll go ahead and we'll take a look at back office, but I'm going to flip back to my PowerPoint. It's a little bit easier to do that in the PowerPoint. Oh, before I do that, sorry, a quick note. This is basically what his confirmation is going to look like. That's kind of the top piece. This is the La Quinta, but and then the bottom half of it looks like this. So you can see he's got all his payments, pricing, taxes, but he does not see your commission, so no worries. You will also get an agent confirmation, different. It even says agent invoice, so you know it's just for you. Looks very similar, but at the bottom, in this case, you see a commission, right? There's a $70 commission there. So they do look a little bit different, just so you know that. All right, so now we are going to look at back office. So I mentioned this before, but a reminder, that's always on your home screen. You just click back office. And once you do that, a couple things, you've got your profile. I talked a little about that. This is Matthew. If you want to update that, you click my profile. You're going to see what your role is. All the agents basically on this call will be Agent IC, meaning you see your own bookings. And then if you'd like to fill in your phone number for us, that'd be great. The help desk wants to contact you and they talk to you about something. It's nice to have your phone number so we can get a hold of you versus just email. And if you ever need to change your password or security question, you can do that here too. My trips, I kind of mentioned this at the beginning, but all of your recent trips, if you click that nice simple view, this is what you've purchased or confirmed. We'll say confirmed because it could be credit card guarantee, but you've confirmed these bookings, you've booked them, or planned. So if you remember I saved that trip for Chris for Vegas and Phoenix, I would see that as planned. Or any of your quotes that you sent are planned. So that's the difference. And you can go ahead. If I hit that planned trip, I can view the trip right there. So I can go into it and actually start looking at the rates again like we did, or I could delete it. You know, he's done. He decided not to go or something happened. So you can delete that from your planned trip. TLG rewards. So talked about that for a moment. You're going to want to do this as soon as you get into pinSIGHT for the first time, into pinSIGHT 2.0. Go to back office, go to your profiles, and go to this TLG reward. So click on that. It's going to take you to the reward site, and this really simple opt-in basically just tells you the program again, our legal information, like there always is. You just click on the agreement and the checkbox, and you opt in. That's all you have to do. Now you're signed up. Now, if you do want to go to the site, it'll take you to the TLG reward site. You can always click into it from pinSIGHT. It's all over the place. But here it's a very simple site. You earn the points. We talked about this, 1 point for every $1 booked. You can always read about that here. You also have your account set up so you can see any pending points, so points that you've have on your account that you haven't used. Anything you redeemed, So maybe you're thinking, gosh, did I redeem those points? I can't remember what I decided in the end. You can always find that as well. And another nice quick feature, you're always going to see my available points in the top corner. So quick snapshot, you don't have to search around. Poor Matt hasn't made any bookings, so he doesn't have any points yet. But that would have a number, obviously, if he did. Once you want to redeem, you go ahead to redeem point, and you would click on redeem. An email that says here will be sent to you just to confirm. We just want to make sure there's no fraud. You click on that link. You know, a lot of that happens these days, right? Go to your email, click on the link, and then you have all your gift card options. You choose the gift card. You can have an e-gift card. You want, you know, immediate use will be emailed to you, or you can select a physical card that will come in the mail. So a couple options. So that's rewards. Back to the back office again. Kind of the last thing is, of course, reservations that you've booked, right? You need to cancel them or take a look at them. So the easiest thing, we have a search with a dashboard, which is really just this little lovely graph or table behind it. And we have a reservation report. So if you ever need to run a whole listing of your reservations for, you know, the next coming month, perhaps, to think, well, who do I have traveling in the next month? You can do that here too. So the most common is going to be search. So I like to use this little, I call it kind of a booking or a search widget over on the side. Simple, you can either put in the trip ID, which is their pinSIGHT booking number, or they're always going to get a supplier reference number, which is really basically the hotel booking number. Either one, they're going to be all over their confirmation. You go ahead and put that number and you can search. Or maybe they don't have it, you don't have it, but you just want to go ahead and put in their name or their email, you can do that too. So here I put in Smith and I hit search, and now I see this booking for John Smith. So I see all of the information. I can go ahead and click on the trip ID. So there's John Smith's trip ID. It's a clickable link. Now I'm into his what we call trip folder. So this is all the booking detail around this reservation. So you're going to see a few different tabs that we'll look at. The trip ID, which is again the pinSIGHT booking ID, your guest info, as well as credit card details and your agent details. If you go to trip summary, which is your next tab, you can always send a voucher if you need to. So anything that's prepaid, so it has to be prepaid, not those credit card guarantees. Prepaid means they've already paid it. Their credit card's been charged. You can send them a voucher. So you just click send voucher. You're going to get another pop-up, and go ahead and send that to the client. Next option, process booking. So unfortunately, they want to cancel. So here you would hit process booking. Again, you see all the purchase information, credit card info, last 4 digits, all of that. But at the bottom, you can hit cancel booking. Also like to point out in this example, it says pay at hotel, and that means it was credit card guarantee. That means, like I said before, they will pay or the credit card will be charged when they check out of the hotel. So that's just there to remind you for those types of bookings. But I would hit cancel booking and go ahead and cancel that. You also can look at hotel itinerary. So this gives you really at a hotel level, looks very similar to a hotel confirmation, right? Room description, their cancel policy. So if you need to check all that out, you can see that. You can see what it was booked through. This is GDS, so it was through our Amadeus GDS provider. Oh, let's do that. And then lastly, maybe you need to resend them email confirmation. They didn't get it, or you need to send it somewhere different. They've changed emails. You can go in, hit email communication in the trip folder there, and send it to them. You could also resend your agent one if you need that too. So that one will have the commission listed. So again, you don't want to send them an agent confirmation. And then lastly, reservation report, you would click that and you're going to get these options. Basically, you have to put start and end date. We need to know the date range you want to pull a report for. You can use booking date. You can use travel date. You know, you want to see who's traveling, like I said, in the next month, or, hey, what did I book in the last month? You could do that too. So agent IC, which will be the default, will all be able to see their own bookings, and the admins at Pro Travel Network will see everybody's. So just a little zoom in on that, and you would click Get Report, and you can export it to Excel if you'd like, or flat file, etc. Or just view the report in pinSIGHT if you just want to take a look at it. You can always do that too. So you'll have all this information, their email, and it goes on and on. If I scroll, your name, your commission, the fare, all the different pricing information there too. So that concludes the pinSIGHT 2.0 presentation. I don't know, Maggie, you want me to turn that back over to you from a go-to perspective?
Well, everybody has been unmuted, so I don't know if anybody has any questions to ask you today. Everybody, like I said, you are unmuted. So if you have any questions for Liz, feel free to do so now.
No questions, no questions.
Oh, yep.
Hello, Liz. You out there, Liz?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, how you doing? I want to know with the great. I can't complain. I am jacked out of my mind. With the pinStripe opportunity, is that linked directly to ProTravel's invoicing system, so we get the commission off of that also?
I'd have to ask Maggie. Do you know?
No, you still have to invoice.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You use client-based or agent-made, but otherwise, no, it would be separate. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? All right. Well, what we'll do is I'll go ahead and set up this recap, and it'll be posted tomorrow. And Liz, thank you so much for taking your time and doing this for us. If I have any questions, which I definitely do, I'll definitely get a hold of you because I need to get access to this system ASAP.
Yeah.
So
let me know that out. Yep.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and stay cool. And everybody, we will do our regular webinars every other Thursday, which would not be this Thursday, but the following Thursday. Have a good night.
Right. Great. Thank you, everyone. Happy booking.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.